Alright, Brian here from touringplans.com. Today is kind of a special edition of the news. Rather than talking about current news, we're going to talk about some of the construction projects that are underway at Universal and at Walt Disney World in Orlando. I limited it to those two because there are a lot of construction projects going on, so I feel like this is going to be long enough even with those. All of the aerial photos in this video are courtesy of BioReconstruct on Twitter. There he is right there. Make sure you follow that account. He does the work that none of us deserve to see with amazing aerial views of the Orlando area. These photos were taken within the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, so they are about as updated as you can get. Now, let's stop looking at me and start looking at some maps. 2 different mapping programs up actually right now. This is satellites.pro, whatever that is, but it is a slightly more recent satellite imagery. We're looking at Universal Orlando right now. I also have my good old friend Google Maps up, which allows me to move it a lot more, but isn't quite as up to date as you will see. So we are starting out here at Universal Orlando with the resort that is coming soon, and that is the Endless Summer Resort. Right here is the BioReconstruct aerial photo of the Endless Summer Resort. This is the Surfside Inn section that is being built right here, this big gray concrete slab. They will also be building the dockside, which is going to be the other half of the Endless Summer Hotel. This entire complex will be their cheapest hotel. Here is a slightly closer view of it. And BioReconstruct helpfully puts these arrows in. I believe this one was showing the truck bringing in the section of pre-made wall right here. And right here is the parking garage that will be used for it. Back to this other photo. Over here, I think this is where the dockside part of the hotel is going to go. I assume so. There's no other space. And part of the reason that these are so cheap is that they are not super duper close to Universal. This photo here you can actually see back here. This is the Sapphire Falls Resort right here. Right there is the newest one, the Aventura Hotel. Over here is Cabana Bay. Volcano Bay would be a little farther to the left there. And here is Islands of Adventure. You can see this is Hogwarts right there. As you can see, there is not really a way to walk to the hotels, at least not right now, without walking onto, the highway. This is Interstate 4 right here. So looking on the satellite here, right down here, where it says Wet and Wild Parking, that is where the Endless Summer is going to be. It used to be the Wet and Wild Resort. And up here is Royal Pacific, and that we can zoom in a little bit further. It is hard with this big giant hand. But right here, down here, this is where they are building. This is the Surfside part right here. This will be the dockside part right there. And over here, you cross the bridge, Royal Pacific, and onto Islands of Adventure. Now let's move on to the newest attraction being built. That is the new Harry Potter-related Forbidden Forest roller coaster. We don't know the official name of it yet. That is this right here. It is being built right next to Hogsmeade, where Dragon Challenge used to be. You can see the path to Hogsmeade. You can actually make out the little winged boars that act as the entrance up to Hogwarts right there. On the satellite, let's move over into Islands of Adventure, and right here you can see the big dirt spot right there. Heading over to Google Maps, we can see what it used to look like when Dragon Challenge was still standing. This is all the area here where Dragon Challenge was. Right here is Hogsmeade Station of the Hogwarts Express. This building has been expanded a little bit, the show building. The track is almost all, if not all, in place. It kind of comes through here. You go through this building that they are constructing right now. It comes around here. There's a backwards part. Right over here is a part where you kind of get stalled and then start going backwards. In this building down here, there's a drop track. It's really, really cool. We have a slightly different angle here where you can see kind of circular section that is thought to be Hagrid's hut that you will go through, possibly with an animatronic of Hagrid himself. This will be a very cool attraction. Opening in summer of 2019. All right, now we are back in Disney World, and we are going to start with the resorts because there's a lot going on there. This is where you can really see how old this Google Maps image is. This is the Caribbean Beach Resort as it used to look. Now this whole section of Barbados is gone, as are these 3 buildings from Martinique, because that is where the Riviera Resort is, but we are going to start with the Port Royal area. This will be the new lobby food court area We had kind of heard that this might be done actually by the end of this year, and it looks like that might actually be possible. Over here, this building right here on the water is the new restaurant, Sebastian's Bistro. Shutters is no more. We see here on the Google image what this area used to look like. The entry, a lot of the buildings here look actually pretty similar. They didn't seem to do a lot of exterior work there other than adding this big overhang. But as you can see, this large patio here near the Banana Cabana bar with the fountain, that is all gone now. That is all taken up by Sebastian's Bistro there. But the interiors here will be completely redesigned. Moving elsewhere, when I mentioned that Barbados and Martinique were gone, they are gone because of this. This is the new Riviera Resort. This will be a Disney Vacation Club property that is where Barbados used to stand. This is expected to open in 2019 sometime. We do not know the date, although, as you can see, quite a bit of the exterior construction is done. This is, I believe, as tall as it is going to get. I believe there is supposed to be a rooftop, bar viewing area element because you can see from here into Epcot, which I can show you. First, let's look at this satellite image here where you can see this was a few months ago, obviously, but right here is the Riviera. Compared with the Google satellite image, the Riviera sits right about there. You can see how much of the Caribbean beach land they took away. This up here is currently the customs house. This is actually where the check-in, check-out process is now for a Caribbean beach. That will also be going away once they finish the new check-in area. You will check in the main building with a food court rather than another random building on the other side of the property. Over on the right here, you can see the Skyliner, the gondola station. I will talk about that more in a minute. From the Riviera Hotel, which is right there, as you can see into Epcot. There is the Epcot Lagoon, and where you will be able to see the nighttime show, especially from this side of the resort over here. Before we get to the Skyliner, let's take a trip to Coronado Springs, where they are also building a tower. This is not a separate resort, though. This will just be part of Coronado Springs. And like the Riviera, much of the outside construction seems to be done, although this definitely seems to be farther along. The roof looks basically complete. I also believe they are putting a rooftop deck element here. Right out in the middle of the water here, this will also be a new restaurant. And very importantly, I think, for Coronado Springs, an easier way to get across the lagoon, especially from this side over here. If you're back in this area back here, I believe these are the ranchos. I always get confused on which section is which. It is still kind of a long walk over to the food court area, which is right there. Looking at the more recent satellite of this, right here, this big dirt spot is the construction. You can kind of see the tower foundation starting right there. They hadn't started the restaurant yet, but it connects right here. There's a bump out right there is where it connects across. All right, so now on to Skyliner. First, let's talk about the Skyliner route. It might help you visualize where some of these are going. We will start here in Epcot. This is the Epcot Lagoon. This is the International Gateway entrance. Right here is the Epcot Skyliner station. The Epcot Skyliner station will go from here down. This is kind of the back of the boardwalk parking lot. This will just be a turn as far as I know. You will not be able to get on or off right here. It will turn and then follow Buena Vista Drive right here and cross it to right there, the Riviera station, which will, this is the one we're not sure of. I think you will be able to get on and off here from the Riviera or from these Caribbean beach buildings, but this could also be a turn. I just plain don't know yet. Then it comes straight down this way to the Caribbean beach station. This will be the main hub of the entire gondola system, which will mean that these buildings, this is the Jamaica section of Caribbean Beach, and these buildings, the Trinidad North and South areas, will be a little bit more beneficial. The Hollywood Studios line goes this way, right through this path, right through the trees to right here, which is where the gondola station is being built for Hollywood Studios. And then it heads south here to the Pop Century Art of Animation station. So let's take a look at what these stations look like. This is that main hub, the Caribbean Beach one. This is the Hollywood Studios way right there. This way to the left will go towards Pop Century and Art of Animation. This way to the north is the one that goes towards the Riviera. Right across this road right here is where you are at those Jamaica buildings, very, very close. This here is the Art of Animation Pop Century. This side is Pop Century right there. This side is Art of Animation. You can actually kind of almost see the edge of the big blue pool right there and the hippy dippy pool right there. Really changes the transportation options for these resorts as well. This one is that station near the Riviera. Right here, this is the Riviera building. These are the Aruba buildings at Caribbean Beach. You can see some of the towers that you can now see all over property. There's one on either side here. And this is where we believe you will be able to get on and off at the Riviera. This is the Hollywood Studios station right here. This is where they are building the new bus parking that I talked about on last week's news program. You can go back and see a little bit more about that if you want. These are the old bus stations that will presumably be torn down. This, I am not sure of what it is. I wonder if it is a new Friendship boat dock, but I actually don't know the answer to what this building right here is. But this is the Skyliner station. As you can see, this one is further along than the others. This one, again, looks like the exterior is very close to being complete. You can see the kind of small tower right there, and then the bigger one as it would start to ramp up. Kind of see here, this is actually the Ratatouille ride. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But right back here where the yellow arrow is, this is the Epcot station and the towers that go towards that turn that is near the boardwalk. The International Gateway entrance right here, the Friendship boat dock right there. So now let's get into attractions in the theme parks. We will start with this at the Magic Kingdom. Not the best view of this one was taken from the Contemporary. This is going to be the new Tron attraction here. You can see Space Mountain there. One is so recent that even this satellite image still shows it as greenery, but it is right in this area here is where the Tron attraction is going. As you can see, they have cleared all of that land. Here's that water right there. This water right here. So this is where the Tron attraction will be going. This Tron attraction will most likely not be open until 2021. That is kind of the aim on all of this stuff, is by 2021. We don't have exact dates on really any of these attractions. Now moving into Epcot, 2 new attractions being built there. This one is the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster. Both this and the Ratatouille attraction we do not have firm dates on, other than that they are supposed to be completed by 2021, the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. This is a gigantic show building. This is out behind the Universe of Energy. This gold dome here is the old Wonders of Life pavilion that is now basically used as like a festival center for food and wine. This right here is the old Universe of Energy building, which will now be the queue and kind of pre-show area. And then you will come over to this massive structure. But you can see how much taller it is than everything else around it. This is where we are looking. Right in this area here is where that structure is. There's Wonders of Life, here's the Energy. Presumably there will also be structures completing this loop, but it looks like much of the indoor roller coaster thing is going to be in here, and that can hold a lot of roller coasters. You can see cranes and things in here that actually look kind of tiny compared to this. Then the other attraction in Epcot right here, this is Ratatouille. You saw this one before when looking at the Skyliner station. This is out in kind of the expansion pad in between the France and Morocco pavilion. Obviously here's the France with the half of an Eiffel Tower on top of its building. It is unknown exactly where you will enter, although it is kind of thought you will use the gardens over here on this side as like the entryway for the ride, and the queue will kind of come around this way to ride. Here looking on the satellite, you can see right back here, this dirt pad right there is where the building is now. So now we get to move to Star Wars Land. I guess technically Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This is Hollywood Studios. This is Echo Lake. This is where you enter right down here. And back here, this is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge from a few months ago. As you can see, this is Toy Story Land right here. And the construction has not quite completed on Toy Story Land as this satellite image was taken. Well, this is what it looks like now. This is a view from kind of the center of the park right here. Not sure why I'm just getting a magnifying glass here. I guess just follow the magnifying glass. This is the entrance from Grand Avenue down here. We'll see more details on some of this stuff in a minute. The other entrance from Toy Story Land is over here. This is the Black Part of this is the Black Spire Outpost. I'm not exactly sure what constitutes that. This one right here, this is the First Order attraction. This will be the entrance here as far as we know. This one will be the Millennium Falcon attraction over here. This looks like it is moving along nicely, supposed to be open kind of the end of 2019. And as you can see, there is a lot of work yet to be done, but we have over a year yet. So this is the view from over Toy Story Land. Google Maps, as you can see, will not be a ton of help here because there is no Slinky Dog Dash here. This is a parking lot, Woody's Lunchbox, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. That is not what this is called at Google Maps. That is the alien swirling saucers in that parking lot. And you can see Catastrophe Canyon back here and Lights Motors Action. So yeah, you know what? Let's just close out Google Maps. You can see alien swirling saucers, or I guess Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin if you're Google. This way, this will be one of the entrances, or what we think most likely the exit for Galaxy's Edge for quite a while. You can see this berm built with the trees simulating the forest around the planet, so you will not hopefully be able to see many of the other attractions outside. And you can kind of get an idea of just how tall some of these spires are here. This will be a very, very impressive looking land. Now this is looking the other way towards Grand Avenue. This building right here is the Muppet Vision 3D building. Over here we have Pizza Rizzo. Right here is some of the newer buildings that were built as part of Grand Avenue or the old Streets of America. And this is what I think will be an awesome entry experience because it is a cave and it looks like it's not even angled straight on. So it looks like you're going to kind of come through this cave, be looking almost directly into this rockwork, and then turn and get the full vista of the First Order building and everything here. Very, very cool. I'm super duper excited about this. I cannot wait to see many, many more satellite images also of this. Now this is over here, this is Star Wars Land. And what this is looking towards is where the Star Wars Hotel is going to be built. Now, this will not open with the rest of the land. This will probably not open until 2020, 2021 range. I believe what BioReconstruct is pointing out here is some of the new entry paths for how you will get into Hollywood Studios, although I don't actually remember that. And on the satellite here, you can see the new Star Wars Hotel is being built south of the property, right about here is where the Star Wars Hotel will be. This will all be new parking because they are going to need more parking. And that's it. That is my quick-ish look at all the construction projects going on right now in Disney World and Universal Orlando. There will be many more of these, hopefully, over the next couple of years. Thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other.